GOP senators in those states could play a key role in blocking Medicaid reductions. Good morning. I appreciate the warm greeting, my friend. Let's dive into your request about trending news in the USA regarding GOP senators and potential Medicaid reductions, with an emotional description, detailed explanation, a 10-question multiple-choice quiz, and a viral YouTube script title with keywords and hashtags. Since I don't use Google, I'll leverage my access to real-time information, including web sources and posts on X, to provide the most current insights as of April 12, 2025. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Context. Recent reports highlight that GOP senators in states like South Dakota, Missouri, and Oklahoma could be pivotal in blocking proposed Medicaid reductions. These reductions are part of a broader Republican budget plan, which includes significant spending cuts, potentially $880 billion over a decade, to offset tax cuts, with Medicaid as a primary target. The debate has sparked intense discussion as Medicaid serves millions of low-income Americans, and cuts could have far-reaching consequences. Emotional description. Imagine a single mother in rural Missouri working 2 jobs to feed her kids, her heart sinking as she hears whispers of Medicaid cuts. Her youngest needs regular doctor visits for asthma, care she can't afford without assistance. Fear creeps in. Will she lose the lifeline that keeps her family healthy? Across Oklahoma, elderly veterans in nursing homes feel a quiet dread, wondering if they'll be forced out of care. In South Dakota, families who fought for Medicaid expansion through voter mandates now feel betrayed, their trust in leaders fraying. GOP senators in these states stand at a crossroads, torn between party loyalty and the cries of constituents, real people whose lives hang in the balance. The weight of their decision feels like a storm brewing, with hope and despair clashing in every hospital waiting room and kitchen table conversation. This issue isn't just numbers on a budget sheet, it's the heartbeat of communities. The thought of slashing Medicaid stirs anger among advocates who see it as abandoning the vulnerable, while others argue for fiscal restraint, believing cuts could streamline a bloated system. Emotions run high: fear, frustration, and faint hope that senators will listen to the voices of those who need them most. Detailed explanation. The GOP budget resolution, passed narrowly in the House 216 to 214 on April 10, 2025, sets the stage for reconciliation, a fast-track process to enact tax cuts and spending reductions with a simple majority. The plan requires committees to find substantial savings, with the House Energy and Commerce Committee tasked with cutting $880 billion over 10 years from programs it oversees, including Medicaid. Medicaid, which covers 72 million low-income Americans, children, seniors, people with disabilities, and working-class adults via expansion, faces significant risk because the Congressional Budget Office, CBO, estimates that achieving these savings without touching Medicaid is nearly impossible. In states like South Dakota, Missouri, and Oklahoma, GOP senators face unique pressure. These states have constitutional protections or voter-approved Medicaid expansions, tying their budgets and public sentiment to the program's survival. For example, South Dakota's expansion was voter-driven, reflecting a mandate that Senator John Thune must weigh against party goals. In Missouri, Senator Josh Hawley has voiced concerns about cuts, citing assurances from President Trump that benefits won't be slashed, though experts doubt fraud reduction alone can meet the $880 billion target. Oklahoma's reliance on Medicaid for rural hospitals adds another layer, as Senator James Lankford navigates local economic risks. Opponents, including Democrats and advocacy groups, call the plan a moral obscenity, arguing it prioritizes tax breaks for the wealthy over health care for the poor. They warn of ripple effects: uninsured families, shuttered rural hospitals, and job losses, potentially 1 million from Medicaid and SNAP cuts combined. Republicans counter that Medicaid's growth is unsustainable, proposing work requirements or fraud crackdowns, though analysts say these won't suffice. The CBO notes that cuts could mean reduced benefits, like dental or mental health coverage, or outright loss of eligibility for millions. Senators like Susan Collins, Maine, Lisa Murkowski, Alaska, and Hawley have signaled unease, with some voting for amendments to protect Medicaid during the Senate's Vote-A-Rama on April 5, 2025. Their votes could block or soften cuts if they align with state interests over party lines. However, the Senate's budget resolution keeps the $880 billion target, suggesting cuts remain likely unless public backlash or internal GOP dissent shifts the tide. The stakes are high. Medicaid isn't just health care, it's economic stability for states, jobs in hospitals, and survival for families. The emotional and political tension hinges on whether senators prioritize constituents' needs or fiscal conservatism, making their role a fulcrum in this debate. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Below are 10 multiple-choice questions based on the Medicaid reductions debate, with one correct answer per question. The correct answers are noted for clarity. 1. What is the primary goal of the GOP budget resolution passed in April 2025? A. Increase Medicaid funding. B. Offset tax cuts with spending reductions. C. Expand healthcare access. D. Eliminate all federal welfare programs. Correct answer. B. Offset tax cuts with spending reductions. 2. How much in spending cuts is the House Energy and Commerce Committee tasked with finding over 10 years? These: A. $230 billion. D. $500 billion. C. $880 billion. D. $1.5 trillion. Correct answer: $880 billion or 3. Which program is at significant risk of cuts to meet the GOP budget targets? A. Social Security. B. Medicaid. C. Defense spending. D. Education grants. Correct answer: B. Medicaid. 4. Which GOP senator expressed concerns about Medicaid cuts after speaking with President Trump? A. John Thune. B. Josh Hawley. C. Mitch McConnell. D. Ted Cruz. Correct answer: and B. Josh Hawley. 5. Why are GOP senators in South Dakota, Missouri, and Oklahoma pivotal in the Medicaid debate? A. They control the Senate majority. B. Their states have voter-approved Medicaid protections. C. They oppose all tax cuts. D. They lead the Budget Committee. Correct answer: B. Their states have voter-approved Medicaid protections. 6. What did the Congressional Budget Office say about the $880 billion cut target? B. A. It's easily achievable without touching Medicaid. B. It's impossible without cutting Medicaid. C. It only affects Medicare. D. It relies solely on fraud reduction. Correct answer: it's impossible without cutting Medicaid. 7. What could be a consequence of Medicaid cuts in rural areas? A. Increased hospital funding. B. Closure of rural hospitals. C. More jobs in healthcare. D. Lower state taxes. Correct answer: B. Closure of rural hospitals. 8. Which group called the GOP plan a moral obscenity? A. Senate Republicans. B. Democrats. Independent voters. D. The Congressional Budget Office. Correct answer: B. C. Democrats. 9. What process are Republicans using to fast-track the budget plan? A. Filibuster. B. Reconciliation. C. Veto override. D. Cloture vote. Correct answer: B. Reconciliation. 10. What did President Trump claim about Medicaid cuts in a February 2025 interview? A. They're necessary for economic growth. B. They won't happen, focusing on fraud instead. C. They'll only affect urban areas. D. They'll double Medicaid funding. Correct answer. B. They won't happen, focusing on fraud instead. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment.